Welcome to CritterboxTV. I'm Dale Priest-Kelly. A lot of you have been asking to see some of the feeding habits of the animals, and today we're going to take you through the kestrel. We hope you enjoy it, but we do need to warn you that some of the scenes in today's episode may be a little graphic. This is a chick for Bilbo, frozen chick. We're not allowed to feed live food in the UK because it's deemed cruel, so it's illegal to feed live food, so we feed frozen. The animals are killed with CO2 and we put it in hot water, and the hot water both thaws the food animal out but also removes any CO2 from the system that might be in there, because it could be harmful to the animals we're about to feed to. Okay, that's my my falconry glove, as you can see, with all the lovely squash bits of chick on it. And we're just going to go and get Bilbo out. We wear that because Bilbo's got very sharp talons, and we don't want him to pierce the skin. So we'll just go and get him out of the shed, and then we're going to try and fly him on a crayon. You learn to do everything with one hand when you've got a falcon. Bilbo's a Eurasian Kestrel, sort of animal you see hovering by the roadside, waiting to pounce on something. Try and fly him on a crayons tonight, and a crayons is a long piece of string attached to a piece of wood, and therefore if he did try to fly away, then we'd be able to catch him again. Now when you have a falcon, you learn to do everything one-handed. And basically what I'm going to do now is tie this on in a falconer's knot. Basically we get a loop, we pass a loop through the loop, and then we pass the free bit of string through the second loop, and it's like a slip knot almost. Great band, by the way. And there you go. And he's now tied, so if he tried to fly away, I still got hold of him, I hope.
CritterboxTV quiz. What is another name for the Eurasian Kestrel? Is it A, common kestrel, B, the not so very common kestrel, or C, the very posh kestrel? Answers at the end of this show.
It's been quite a steep learning curve for me having a kestrel, something I've always wanted ever since reading Kess, and I got offered this little fella from a guy I know who has buzzards and other falcons. He bought this for his children to learn how to do falconry. They weren't interested, and he said if I was to use him for my work, then I could happily have him and look after him. And the guy who gave him to me is mentoring me, so that anything I'm not aware of or anything that I'm not sure of, I can ask the question, and he will help me. Stick him up there, and we'll grab hold of that just in case. It won't be a bit too windy to fly him on the crowns, but we'll give it a go. And we put that in my pocket, just that way, and then we hold the chick up. We've cut the head off because Bilbo's at a good weight at the moment, so we don't want to increase his weight too much. And if he gets too fat, he won't fly you. So there you go. That was fantastic. He's been scared a couple of times by our cats. Flying him in the garden isn't the best idea, but we are getting ready within the next week or so to fly him free for the first time in a local field. He knows me as food, and he'll start ripping into this now. Should do. When I first had Bilbo, it wasn't used to being fed on the fist, and it used to take about 2.5 hours to feed him a chick. I would sit for about 40 minutes and wait for him to fly to the glove, the smallest bit. It took 2, maybe 3 months to get him so that he'd fly after 40 minutes for the first bit, and then you'd wait another 20 or 30 minutes for him to hit the next bit. And after that, he started to get used to me. I sit with him, obviously, for that length of time on my fist and stroke him and talk to him, and he kind of got used to it. And then I started by moving sort of 3 or 4 feet away from him and letting him fly to me, and again waiting 30 or 40 minutes for him to fly off his perch, and then gradually got longer and longer and longer. And then one day I decided I was going to try him on the crowns outside because it was a nice day, and he flew beautifully. And ever since then it takes about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to feed him a chick now. You always wait longer for the second pass than you do for the first. He'll eat about half of this, and then we'll put him back on his high perch, and he'll come back and he'll eat the rest.
We interrupt this episode of CritterboxTV to bring you Critterish Comments, the part of the show where we answer the suggestions, comments and questions that you've left beneath the shows. First up we have Helen Green, and Helen would like to see more of beans. Well, Helen, I have beans, I have a cup. There they are. Beans. What's that, wifey? She doesn't mean those sorts of beans. Oh, Helen, you meant our dog beans. Well, I'm sure we will do an episode at some point in the near future on our doggies, and also on our bearded dragons, Helen. Thanks for your question. Now, we've had quite a few requests to see more of Johnny, our ferret. Well, he is in there behind his little paw, licking some ferret paste off him. And Annie Waters asked, are we going to do an episode on Johnny the ferret? Well, the answer, Annie, is we will at some point do an episode on Johnny the ferret. Look at him, isn't he cute? He's a little cutie. Look at the camera, Johns. You turn around. There he is, look. It's Johnny. Oh, he's enjoying that ferret paste. So yeah, we will be doing an episode on Johnny our ferret at some point in the near future. Thanks for your question, Annie. You're beautiful. Thank you, Johnny. And finally, Louise Parrish has asked where Critterish All Sorts all started. Well, if you add together the few exotic pets that we had, a bit of ill health on my behalf, and a suggestion from a primary school teacher, that all equals Critterish All Sorts. And the name came from a play on licorice all sorts. So that's how it all started. We came home, we set up the website, and within a week we'd had our first 2 bookings. From then it's gone from strength to strength, and we're really grateful for that. So thanks for all your questions and comments this week. We will deal with more of them next week. Don't forget to watch on every Sunday, and leave your comments underneath the video or underneath the post that is on Facebook. You can find CritterboxTV on Facebook, and Critterboxers get access exclusively to CritterboxTV for 30 minutes before anyone else gets to see it. So if you want to see it first, join the CritterboxTV page. I'm Dale Priest Kelly, you're watching CritterboxTV, and now it's back to the episode. Oh, itchy eye. Bye now.
Got it stuck on his beak. But if I try and get that off now, he'll bite me. He'll use his hands in a minute. There you go. And gets it off his beak with his hands. He's really patient with kestrels. It appears the wind's got up a little bit, and obviously it's too windy. Bilbo's only light is only about 7 ounces, so the wind would knock him off course, whatever, so he won't fly until the wind's died down. If the wind won't die down, then he's not going to eat the rest of his chicks. So what we'll do is we'll move inside and we'll actually fly him from front door to back door free, so he's not on this dirty great crowds. So he'll fly to his perch, and then we present the chick. Yay! Smack on the glove and you saw the gooey egg coming out. Like I say, within the next week or so we're going to start flying him free, which will be scary but exhilarating. And then once we've got this week over, or once we've flown him free, he'll get used to the fact that he can fly free and come back to me. And this season probably won't be able to fly him free at any displays, but next season we'll be able to, once we start bringing his weight down after the winter, we'll be able to fly him free at shows and events, and do a nice little falconry demonstration. Which will be good for us and good for the customers, and also very good for Bilbo, because he gets to behave a bit more naturally then. And now he'll eat all the bits off my glove now, because he's like that. Cleans up after himself. He's cleaning his beak. Quite comical when they clean the beak. And they always sneeze as well. He knows he's got that little bit of feather stuck to the bottom of his beak, and he's like, yeah, that's annoying him. There you go, you got it. Yeah, we have to make sure that his weight doesn't go too low, because there's only ½ an ounce is critical between life and death in a kestrel once you've gotten down to the flying weight, so we have to be really careful. So we go back to the shed where we've got the scales. We have a nice posh digital set which are nicely calibrated. What we do, we wait for it to get to 0, and we put him on his perch, and we weigh him 7.1 ounces, which is a good flying weight for them.
CritterboxTV quiz. We asked you, what is another name for the Eurasian Kestrel? And the answer is A, the common kestrel. Thank you for coming and watching. See you next time on Critterbox. Bye bye.
Hey.